Meanwhile, China is kind of done fighting this pandemic and the world is kind of done buying Chinese propaganda. So what's left for Beijing to dispense now besides faulty test kits? Quite a few things, actually, I'll tell you. Sermons on its victimhood, lectures on fairness and responsibility, and threats for those who do not agree. The latest country to face the dragon's fire is the Netherlands. China is threatening to halt medical supplies to them. It's the worst kind of blackmail at a time like this. The Netherlands is suffering from the virus that China sent. It has close to 39,000 cases and has recorded over 4,800 deaths. They need medical supplies. The Dutch must have done something seriously wrong to offend the dragon. What was it? They changed the name. The decision was taken by the Netherlands Trade and Investment Office, which is also the country's de facto embassy in Taiwan. It has announced a simplification of the name of its office in Taipei, the capital of Taiwan. This body has revised its name to the Netherlands Office Taipei. Why did they do so? As a token of gratitude, to thank Taiwan and its healthcare workers for donating face masks to them. The Netherlands has flown tulips and stroopwafels to Taiwan. Guy Wittisch, the Dutch representative in Taipei, called the new name, and I'm quoting, a little bit less, but a lot more. Well, China is in no mood for riddles. It doesn't like anything against its one China principle. Beijing likes no independent mention of even the word Taiwan. For China, Taiwan is its inalienable part, a Chinese republic. The Chinese embassy in The Hague is up in arms. It has sought a clarification from the Dutch Foreign Ministry. It says this name change affects China's core interests. The result is this. The Netherlands embassy in Taiwan has taken down a video that announced the name change. It says the video was always meant to be available only for one day. It has served its original purpose. Was the country browbeaten into doing so? It appears so. The Global Times, which is China's official mouthpiece, has reported on how the Netherlands' move was destructive to regional stability. It said the move will result in the boycott of Dutch products and that Chinese tourists will not visit the Netherlands anymore. Boycott of goods and tourism, a warning that sounds familiar. Do you remember China using it against another country? Let me help you. Australia has been issued similar warnings. China wants its citizens to boycott everything Australian, Australian universities, Australian goods, Australian beef, and Australian wine, which they call vinegar. China is accusing Australia of petty tricks. What tricks? Tricks like demanding a probe into the pandemic, tricks like seeking accountability from China, tricks like letting the free Australian media question China. And let me tell you, these are not the only countries that China has threatened. There's a long list. China has threatened Nepal, targeted Nepal, tried to muzzle the free press in Nepal. This happened in the month of February. China went after the Kathmandu Post for questioning Chinese authoritarianism. China also targeted Sweden. This was in the month of January. The coronavirus had just been reported. Swedish journalists were being critical of the Chinese regime. China's ambassador compared these journalists to lightweight boxers challenging heavyweight China. China tried the same in India too. For the last 3 months, the Chinese embassy has issued statement after statement slamming the Indian media. Statements that are the opposite of anything diplomatic. China is threatening anybody and everybody who dares to question its response. Chinese diplomats are on the offensive. They're increasingly taking to platforms that are blocked in their own country and to their own people. But how many countries will they fight? And for how long? This is a question that will be answered only by standing up to China.